Greetings and or salutations.
And or,
you choose. It is the McCrazy Talk podcast. This is season 1, episode 8.
All right.
My name is Mark McCrazy.
I'm Indy B.
DJ Menace.
All right, and here's how this works. We're a Longtime Morning team, and we decided that we would do a podcast together to discuss the craziest news stories of the week. There is never a shortage of these stories, but you don't really get a chance to see them. Why? Well, because the news cycle is dominated by politics and hate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That about says it right.
So in today's podcast, we will be talking about a number of things, like a pair of individuals that were arrested for stealing $75 worth of guess what?
Okay.
We also have a lesson on what you shouldn't be using as lubricant during sex, just in case you didn't know.
Almost everything.
And 7-Eleven has an interesting way to chase away homeless people. The big heart on 7-Eleven. I think that's where we'll start today, shall we?
Okay.
Okay.
7-Eleven has an interesting way to chase away homeless people. How are they doing that in Los Angeles? By blasting classical music.
I heard that happened in another place too. It wasn't classical
They
music.
did that
but-
on Tamarind Ave in West Palm Beach.
Yes.
Which, if you don't know the area, looks like a Scarface video. Like
Right.
this. And they put them right on the corner.
Not the most affluent area of town.
No.
And
Look at all this plight.
Right, exactly. So they figured that playing, Beethoven or Bach would shoo people away. Unless you have a homeless person that is a classical
Fan,
music.
yeah.
If you see a guy
Enjoying
still
it.
out there and they're blaring that stuff in his ear and he's like a dope dealer, he's about his money. Everybody
Right.
else went home.
Yeah, exactly. He's determined.
Yes.
Speaking of determined, is this one guy here who calls the police department because, well, they took away his marijuana. He's not very happy about that. Called the precinct up, and he demanded that they explain. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to hit that. He demanded that they explain to him exactly what they did with his marijuana that they stole.
Wow.
Police, how can I help you?
All right, my name's Phil. I had 2 cops come here last night and steal my f***ing weed, and I want it back. Yeah, I was staying at a hotel last night at the time. My wife had some problem. They had to call them, and my wife had my weed in her purse, and the cops took it. It was only like 4 grams, but it was really good f***ing weed.
Wow.
It was only like 4 grams, but it was like, prestige f***ing weed. And from what I know, 100 grams is cool, right?
You are wrong. It's not. I'm just here to tell you that it's not.
What do you mean it's not, dude? Where you been the past 2 months?
Okay.
2 months ago, it got past 100 grams. I know I'm right here, dude. Don't try to talk to me like I'm dumb.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
That was some good weed.
Man. There was more than just weed in that weed.
Yeah.
I never wanted my weed back that bad before. Ever.
It's never been that good.
He called the precinct and said, y'all confiscating the weed, and I'm not going to buy new weed. I need that particular batch of weed back.
I'm right. You're wrong.
It's Pineapple Express.
Right, exactly. That's some Maui Wowie that you took from
It's
me.
like that Maui Wowie and the Amazon Kush somehow met and fucked and had a baby. That's what you were smoking.
Man, it's the good stuff. Well, let's talk about drunk people. Just got through talking about high people. A Utah woman called 911 to report a drunk driver. Problem with her is she's drunk herself. Yeah, police asked the woman for more information. She gave them her own license plate number and started laughing.
I don't even know why I did
It's
that.
KZZ 50,
Forget I called.
5540. It's a Ford Tempo. And more drunk people. A woman at Disney's Hollywood Studios tried to slap a taxi driver because she asked him for something and he wouldn't provide it. It was a cigarette. Menthol, filtered, I assume, and she was not very happy about the fact that he didn't have one. So she went upside his head a couple of times. Cops were called out. When the cops approached her, they tried to get her to cooperate. She says she's not cooperating until she gets a square. They didn't give her a square. That's when she kicked the officers in the leg.
Wow.
Cigarettes on the program.
No, it's something else going on. In there, too.
Yeah,
Something
but
else.
cigarette addiction is as real as those other things.
But
we
you
talk
kicking
about.
people and going to jail for one?
Well, I know
No.
I've wanted one pretty bad before. I know.
Let me tell you, when I was in Florida on the air and we had a hurricane, and I was part of this hurricane crew, They had to be on the air. And the crazy part about it was we would take calls from people and they would be like, where can I get some water? Hey, my street's flooded. Do you know if, all these questions about things going on, right? And we were just taking calls and blah, blah, blah. Well, there's a gas station open on the corner of this, that, and the other. This one lady calls and I'll never forget it. And she goes, hey, I just got a question. And this is something that ain't nobody asked, but it's important. Where can I get some cigarettes?
Oh, man. During the hurricane.
Wow.
She was Jones.
Forget the water.
I just want to know where I can get myself some cigarettes. If I don't get a Camel in me, there's going to be some problems.
Forget the electricity, the water, food.
Actually, she probably wanted a Pall Mall. Now that I think about it.
Her? No, she's Marlboro Red.
Is that she's a red pack?
Totally.
Yeah.
She sounds like it.
Double the tar. What do you do if Bank of America transfers $120,000 into your account incorrectly?
If you're smart, you report it. But unfortunately, these people weren't very smart.
Pennsylvania couple are facing theft charges after their bank accidentally deposited about $120,000 into their account, and they went on a spending spree.
Hell yeah, they did.
Bought an SUV, 2 4-wheelers, a camper, and a car trailer.
That was so dumb. You knew it wasn't your money.
Yeah. They used the money on bills, car repairs for not the new SUV, the older one, cash purchases, and even gave $15,000 to friends in need of money. Once the bank realized its mistake, it transferred the $120,000 to the correct account, but said it needed to be whole on the money that they stole from them. Of course, these people are now facing felony theft charges.
That was dumb.
So just in case.
It sounds like a dream, though.
Right.
It does.
But I'm calling first.
Yeah, I'm going to let it sit for like 2 months. And after 2 months, if it's not claimed, then I'm
No. I cash out, go to Mexico. I'm gone today.
Yeah.
I can buy a villa with that.
I don't know. Bank of America is pretty powerful. I think they'd find you. So laying on the wrong side of the bed? Yeah, that's an ass whooping, unfortunately.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, a Florida woman, shocker, attacked her wife after finding the victim lying on her side of the bed.
Yeah, it's kind of serious, though.
See, her side is closest to the bathroom.
Karen, I always sleep closer to the television set. I don't understand. Well, we're changing it up tonight. Why, you son of a bitch.
That was deeper than that, too, probably.
Yeah, there's probably some other stuff going on there, too. Burnt toast. Missing sex toy.
Yeah, laundry left on the floor.
Okay, so this is a real problem that happens at nail salons. And it's getting talked about, right? And it needs to be talked about. A woman in Houston claims that a nail spa, told her that they could not give her a pedicure because she was just too much of a fatty fat for one of their chairs.
Well, I can't have you damaging my chairs.
You know how expensive those chairs are?
They said, you're too big. No pedicure. You fat.
I don't know if it was us that talked about this, but airlines are talking about weighing people.
Wow, that's some bullshit.
It's not gonna flash up on a screen in front of everybody. Like only they will see it.
I've been the little person in the row that everybody's on top of me because everybody's in half of my chair.
Middle seat.
Time out. So you're boarding the plane, and there's a little pad you got to step on?
Yep. That's what I heard.
Hello, you got to buy another seat.
They're going to embarrass you. I mean, there's no way to embarrass if everybody's going through. Boonk, boonk. Then a buzzer goes off. Right, exactly. You're free to board.
Sirens.
Ma'am, can you put down the Twinkie? We need to talk.
You're free to board. Bink. You're free to board. Then all of a sudden, back. That's terrible, man.
I kind of feel it, though. I've been uncomfortable on the plane too many times. It's not fair to me.
There's been times, being honest, where I've seen somebody walk up the aisle and go, please, man, I hope you listen.
I do it all the time.
And they walk by and I go, whew.
Thank you, Jesus.
Dodge that bullet.
Yes.
There's about to be sitting on top of you.
Behind me, fatty. Speaking of fatties, 2 guys in Florida were arrested after they pulled guns on McDonald's employees over cold burgers. They really wanted their burgers. Burgers were cold, so they had a problem with it, so they pulled out some pistols. Of course, that did not end well.
Listen, I DJ clubs on the weekend, and about 2:30 in the morning, I will pull into a McDonald's, right? And it's going to be a wait. God forbid you go to Whataburger because you're going to be there an hour. But McDonald's is even like a half hour.
Right.
Waiting for this quarter pounder. You tell them no pickles and onions, add bacon. you get like a piece of beef in a bun and it's cold. I kind of feel them.
Yeah. But I mean, how passionate are the people that work the late night shift at a fast food restaurant anyway?
Nah, they just throwing your stuff in the bag.
But when I go through all that at that time of night, I'm just saying I kind of feel as people a little bit.
Yeah. That's not even the B squad. That's more like the C or D squad working that time. KFC is actually testing new fries. They're covered with 11 secret herbs and spices, and they say these fries taste just like chicken, probably because they're fried in the same grease that the chicken is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. All right. So this guy, I guess him and his wife are not getting along. So he says, I know what I can do so that I can get back in her good graces. I'll stage a kidnapping. That'll get her sympathy. Well, of course, that didn't work. Nope. They saw his plan, and it ended very badly. She called the police, found the man at the workplace, zip-tied to a chair, calling for help. But, of course, he really did that shit to himself, and now he's in trouble for, false police report.
That's not going to make me want you, dummy.
Oh, you've been through so bad, and let's fix this. She was like, nah, you dumbass.
Yeah, it made it worse.
Dumb.
We have a lesson on what you shouldn't use as a lubricant during sex.
Almost anything.
Yeah, I mean,
unless it says lubricant.
There are very limited things you should stick in these areas.
Very true,
Yeah.
Well, just in case you were thinking that you're like, she said, yes, I need something around the house. What can I grab? Ooh, there's something. Don't grab toothpaste.
Why would you grab...
Toothpaste makes my mouth burn. I couldn't imagine what would happen if it got
inside of me. What?
You know how they do these strongman competitions? I really don't think that it's necessarily weights. I think what you really should do is make some guy hold Listerine in his mouth for 60 seconds.
Yes.
If he can do that, then he's a pretty strong person.
Don't pick up that purple bottle.
Oh.
Your face will
explode. Peel all the skin off the lining of your cheeks.
That's the real strong guy. That's the Iron Man. Anyway, they're saying, the CDC is saying, please don't use toothpaste as a form of lubricant while having sex, right? The practice began after YouTube videos suggest rubbing toothpaste on your genitals would help you last longer in bed. Several men have wound up with burns and blisters on their Johnson because of the chemicals in the toothpaste, not to mention the horrible, horrible things it does for the lady.
Well,
who would agree to...
You could use that to freshen a young lady's breath. Hey,
good morning, good morning.
You still end up with burns, though.
Yeah.
That's not bad, though, man. That's pretty good. Okay, so there's all kind of ways to steal from people, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Theft, credit card theft is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
And now you have something new to worry about. Cashiers with photographic memories. In one case, a cashier was arrested after stealing credit card information from 1,300 customers, all by using his photographic memory. He would look at your credit card when you handed it to him to swipe for the purchase, and much like Rain Man, he just was photographic memory. Got the numbers, got the expiration date, and the 3-digit code on the back.
Aren't you kind of like that, Menace?
I don't forget numbers, but I'm not that crazy with it. But that would make him employee of the month at Wells Fargo. Fuck you, Wells Fargo.
Yeah, they're into that, aren't they? Well, a pair of individuals are arrested for stealing $75 worth of what? They're delicious, but you shouldn't steal it. Peanut butter cups. A man and a woman have been arrested for stealing $75 only of Reese's peanut butter cups from a convenience store in New York.
That's a craving for real right there.
I like them, but not that much.
I love them, but yeah, that's kind of pushing it, in my opinion.
$75 breaks down to 150 peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
I don't know why I felt like saying that,
That's
but
good.
it does. I was like, how many would that be?
You do have a little Rain Man in you.
Gotta watch Judge Judy. Gotta watch Judge Judy.
Yeah.
It's 2019.
No, it's Judge Wapner.
No,
Judge
it's
Wapner.
2019.
Oh, that's
Mark,
right.
Me.
Okay, so two women having loud sex at a Maryland hotel were mistaken for having a fight. It actually led to gunshots. These two women were bumping uglies and grinding nasties when the cops were called. Cops knocked on the door. What the hell's going on in there? They're like, we just in here having sex with one another. That's all we're doing. Mind your business. Well, the people there at the hotel said they didn't particularly care for that. You're disturbing the other people at the hotel. You got to go. Lady there that was part of the sex act didn't like that. She drug her ass down to the lobby and started arguing with the person behind the counter to the point where she ended up pulling a gun on the security guard and that lobby staff member.
Damn.
The guard wrestled the gun away from the woman, but not before she fired one shot and hit a door frame. Now she is being arrested, several charges.
Oh, they were having a good time.
Yeah, man. Not good. I tell you, this Donald Trump is making folks crazy. Hear about this guy who went on a vandalism spree, all because he said Donald Trump owes him $1 trillion? Homeless man in Florida was arrested. He went around vandalizing vehicles, up to 20 vehicles, using rocks and a belt buckle to smash the windows and beat up the vehicles. They said he finally stopped when he got tired. They found him sleeping on a bench.
The only man Donald Trump owes $1 trillion to is Vladimir Putin.
That's it, right? That's where the real money is. So what do you do if you see a guy riding on top of a car? Well, just in regular traffic.
Like Teen Wolf?
Well, yeah, pretty much just sitting on top of there while somebody else is driving.
Okay.
This happened in the news, and there's a news story to talk about it. Let me hit this real quick so you guys can hear this nonsense.
Photo. The man seen riding on the roof of a car along Interstate 40, he's in trouble with the law. Photos and videos of the man have gone viral, catching the attention of authorities in the process. That man and the driver have now been charged. And tonight, News 2's Josh Breslow has reaction from one of them.
Blowing kisses at passing drivers, even appearing to do some pull-ups. Cell phone video from Madison captures this guy's bizarre antics, all taking place atop a moving car.
I was having fun, enjoying a joyful day.
That 31-year-old man hanging onto the roof, Ronnie Sellers.
It was a birthday party and a celebration. I was riding in the parade, my own little parade.
He said, I'm just riding, I'm riding on top of this car like I'm in a parade, waving at folks. It's my own little parade. It's my birthday.
Aww.
Apparently that's illegal. And just by the accent, any guesses?
Alabama.
Nope.
West Virginia.
No.
Florida. North Florida. It's somewhere in the South.
It's
Mississippi.
It's Tennessee.
Oh.
It's clearly a Tennessee accent.
Oh, they kind of all sound the same, though, Mark.
Well, no, there's different accents. So Tennessee is more like, listen here, we're from Tennessee. And Texas is slower. It's like, hey, howdy, y'all. See, there's a difference.
Yeah.
What's Alabama, though?
Me and my come on. Stop playing.
Get my Mimo out the me.
Shout out to all our Alabama listeners.
Yes, exactly.
All three of you.
Thank
All
you.
three of you.
Appreciate
Thank
you. All right.
They from Mobile. They're cool Alabamians.
You can tell what city they're from by the amount of teeth left in their head. You got almost all your teeth. You must be from...
You're from the state capital.
You must be from Birmingham.
They got all them fancy dentists in Birmingham.
Got all them fancy dentists and fancy cars and automobiles and inside plumbing. A woman has just been arrested for stalking another woman in High Springs, Florida, when she decided to make an escape. See, she slipped out of her handcuffs. Boy, I know these cops are embarrassed. She slipped out of the handcuffs, climbed through the partition to the front seat, and took off in the patrol car. Officers used GPS to track the vehicle, and the woman was eventually taken back into custody, adding grand theft auto charges to her resume, $95,000 bond. This is something you see on, like, Reno 911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a slick
I
one.
missed that show, by the way. That was a great show.
Oh, it was hilarious. Well, this one mother, she saw the worst thing she could possibly see when she went to get the ultrasound. 17-year-old mother was at her 24-week gender reveal when they had put the gel on her belly and rubbed the ultrasound across, and they said, you're going to see the first pictures of your baby. And then that's when the doctor goes, good.
The doctor goes, ah!
You having a baby. It looks like you having Rosemary's baby. I don't know. Well, look at it here.
It looks like a animal.
It looks like you're having a lemur.
Wow, that kid is gonna be a
Looks
mess.
like a koala bear.
See, I hate those pictures. Nobody's kid ever looks good in those pictures. They look like
But that
mush.
looks really weird.
This one looks like he's looking at the camera.
Yeah.
This one looks like he's got a scary homie.
Well, they did say in that article the baby's eyes were open in that photo.
Looking at what?
Looking at her.
Your soul.
Looking through the belly. I don't know.
If you have erectile dysfunction, fellas, that's the least of your problems. Now they're saying that having a busted wiener is not the only thing you have to worry about. You have a 60% higher risk of heart disease. And that's because your heart ain't pumping to your Johnson anyway, so maybe something's off. The piping's off.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. So that's when your wife goes, you can't perform? Bitch, I got bigger problems.
I might die.
I might, but my ticket's busted.
Well, how long you got so I can make plans?
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's terrible.
Just saying.
Oh, this is a bad day in British Columbia. 27-year-old guy was with his more fit friend because he's a little portly, and they were walking around a trail, maybe to have him lose some weight when they run into what they don't want to run into, a black bear.
Oh, no.
That's when the slimmer friend, pew, gone. Left his fat ass behind. So he's trying to run. He's laboring. That black bear's on his ass, too. So he sees a lake, splash, jumps into the lake. Like bears don't go in lakes.
Bears swim all day.
Aww.
Bear went after his ass, too. Mm-hmm.
Got him?
Yeah, took a couple swipes at him. Yep, and actually connected a few times, leaving marks on his shoulder. Finally, he's face to face with the bear. He said he started negotiating with the bear and actually said, you don't have to do this. You know you don't want to do this, bear. That's when there were some dogs that were on the banks of the river and yelling and barking at the bear, and that's what scared it away.
That's what you have to do is like scream at it.
Yeah.
Spread your arms.
Right, and that's what ended up happening.
I got your back. Anybody ever swing on you, Mark, but a bear, I might be out too, B.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know if that yelling and screaming works. It didn't work for Leonardo DiCaprio in the Revenant.
You leaving me too, though, Menace?
God,
if it was me.
No, it's everybody for themselves. Don't take any offense. I want to live. You want to live? Run.
But I'm a woman.
Are you expecting me to fight a bear?
His friend left him. Do you see that?
I don't believe you will leave me.
Indy, I wouldn't leave you unless it was a bee. I don't do bees or wasps. I will run over a child to get away from a bee. Let's see here. Oh, here's something also. If a married man dies having sex with another woman on a business trip, is it ruled a workplace accident?
Of course, in this story, it is.
Absolutely it is.
Well, we were in the hotel they assigned us to.
An appeals court in France just ruled that when a guy died from a heart attack during sex with a stranger on a business trip, it counts as a workplace accident because he wouldn't have been in that situation if he wasn't there for his employment. So his wife, who he was cheating on, will get 80% of his salary every year until what would have been his retirement age.
Well, win for her.
Yeah, yes, that's definitely a win for her. And this will be my final story, and it's a good one. Psychic from Florida got some major finessing skills. Have you heard this story, Indy?
No.
A psychic from Florida managed to get $1.6 million out of a woman over the course of 7 years when she convinced the woman that there was a curse on her, and she could remove it with some payments. Yes. But eventually she admitted that it was a scam, and she was sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in prison for wire fraud.
They get these old people down there in Florida, man.
Why she admitted that it was a scam?
My luck
She's
has
supposed to
run
take
out.
the money and leave.
All within the same month, I lost my dog, I lost my husband.
That's not a curse. You're 86.
But what
happened.
there's something wrong with me. I don't know. My chair broke. My sciatica's kicking my ass. What do I need to do? I can remove that curse. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Give me $25,000.
Yep, here's my routing number, my account number. Just go ahead and wire it in there, and we'll get you started.
So the lady kept giving her money, clearly, because she said over a period of...
Yeah, it was a period of time, 7 years.
Telemarketers and phone scammers and stuff, I swear, like, what's keeping them in business is calling Florida.
Yeah.
Calling old people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm on a fixed income, but this is important.
Sounds important, though.
Oh, my Lord. Well, there it is, another McCrazy Talk podcast. If you like it,
disappoint you.
If you like it, you can tell your friends and maybe subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't be a little bitch. Hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
We'd love to have you on board.
Agreed.
All right. Till next time. Danke.
Peace.